What's up, guys? This is Chris with Don't Forget to Tap. Just updating and documenting my journey of jiu-jitsu. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a little over 2 years now, and it is one of the best things that I've ever done with my life, but it is also one of the most difficult and one of the most challenging things that I think a person can do with their lives. And so I love talking about it. That's the whole point of why I did this podcast. And I know that I haven't exactly done the best job lately doing the whole documenting and updating and podcasts and everything. But I am going to do better because I've got a few new tools to help me make it just that much easier. So I have that many less excuses to be able to do it. But anyway, let's get to it. So last night, I went last night, and I've been trying to go at least twice a week. I do need to step it up. I need to be more diligent about training, but I've been increasing my overall, a lot of the things that I'm doing to help with my cardio. I've been doing a lot more off the mats, and I have been seeing a difference on the mats. So one thing that I've been doing off the mats that I have been seeing a little bit of a difference is I'll put the treadmill, like when I'm at the gym in the mornings, like I'll leave here, I'll go to the gym, and I'll put the treadmill at about a 12, somewhere between a 12 and a 15 incline, and I'll set it at about a 3.5 to 4.0 pace. And I know that's incredibly slow, like that's a little over walking, like it's that weird awkward step between walking and jogging. But I'll do that and I'll run. I'll actually do like a little shuffle, and man, it takes like 2 minutes, maybe 5, before my heart, is really going. And so I've definitely seen an increase with just increasing my cardio. I've also been doing the Jacob's ladder. If you've ever seen that before, it's like basically getting on all fours and crawling up ladders as long as you humanly can. And I'll try to do that for at least 10 minutes. That thing is an absolute monster. It will destroy your cardio as well. And so doing those little things, I've definitely seen improvements on the mats when it comes to my conditioning. But there is no conditioning. We've said this before. I've said this in episodes. I talk about it with people at jiu-jitsu. There is no conditioning that will match jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is its own conditioning, and it's its own type of conditioning. And I think that unless you do that type of conditioning, you'll never have that type of conditioning. So it's a really weird rule, but it is super effective and super accurate, and I believe in it wholeheartedly. But training's been going really well. We've been doing a lot of focus and emphasis on side control and full guard, and just some different escapes, some different options. And everything that comes along with that. Jiu-jitsu for me has been a meditation, is what I've kind of been calling it in a lot of ways. I think jiu-jitsu is my meditation, and I can definitely see the difference between when I get meditation and when I don't. And so it's funny because last week was kind of stressful with work and everything, right? And we all have those weeks. It just gets that way sometimes. And it was potentially like one of the worst weeks at work I've had in a while. Not, that it was anything particular. It was just a long week. And I definitely, come Friday, I didn't go Wednesday to my normal Wednesday training, and I ended up not going Friday either. And it's when I needed it the most. I even said that to my wife at one point. She was like, "Are you gonna go to jiu-jitsu?" And I was like, to be honest, I was so fried. I was so burnt out on people that's probably when I needed it the most. But I was so burnt out on people at that point that I was like, no, I'm not gonna go. I was like, I just want to get away from people and everything. But the reality is that the jiu-jitsu was probably exactly what I needed. And so I was a little bit frustrated with myself over the weekend, especially for not going. And then Saturday we were at a vet appointment all day with one of our dogs. And so, that's the nature of the beast. Life happens sometimes. But also I think learning for me to lean into jiu-jitsu as a method to help get through those tough times, those tough moments, not just when you feel like training, but especially on the days that you don't. I think that's actually just as important as showing up. I think showing up in the first place, I've said that in so many of my episodes, I think showing up in the first place is such a big factor in jiu-jitsu and everything. And it's full of, great people. They want to see you succeed. They want to, I think very few places in life offer that it's just full of people that are about growth, and they want to see you do better, and they want to get better, and you're going to push yourselves, and you're going to respect each other, and all these, great outcomes of jiu-jitsu are just always there. And I think that I respect that so much about jiu-jitsu. I think that anybody that wants to try it absolutely should. And I think that if you are willing to face your fears, and if you're willing to, kind of put your ego to the side. Last night, my coach, Coach Alex, was talking about that. A lot of people come in and he said that you can kind of see ego in people on how much, they're putting into it. When they get put in a bad position, their willingness to tap, all those things. And he's 100% right, is that, I've seen it in myself, I've seen it in other people, is if you're going 100% all the time, then either chances are you're new and you don't know what you're doing, or your ego is super inflated. And if you can't let other people practice, if you can't let other people work on technique, then either your ego is probably out of check, or you're just starting and trying to figure it all out, and the natural progression of jiu-jitsu has yet to happen to you. But one thing that I will say for sure is that, for me personally, some of the things I got to work on in jiu-jitsu, I'm always, it's always these little tweaks. It's something that I love about jiu-jitsu. I love about my journey in jiu-jitsu, is that I'm constantly finding ways to tweak it, to have to confront myself and call myself out on my BS. And one of those is going to the advanced class, right? That's a big thing. I've become very comfortable training against the guys that I train with. They're my friends. We have a group chat. We're all very connected and click very well. And we're all reasonably within the same skill level. And I love training with them, bottom line. I really do love training with those guys. But I also know that in the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to get any better at jiu-jitsu if I don't push myself and train with more advanced people and different people at that. And I think that that's something that I'm missing out on. It's something I've been missing out on, and I think, a lot of the people that I train under and train with have realized that, and they've even commented on it. And it's a fear for me. I don't know why it's a fear. It's something, I don't know if I think I'm just going to go in there and just get annihilated. And that's probably actually really would happen, but, in the nicest way possible, right? So, jiu-jitsu is one of those things that allows you to face your fears, and that's a fear that I've got to face. And I see how good these guys are, monsters they are, and it's so intimidating to go into that class because their skill just seems at like another level. But in order for my skill to even remotely begin on that path to get to that level, I've got to start training at that level. And that's really important for me. That's something I told myself I was going to get behind and get on and everything. But just in general, I definitely think I'm in this chapter of my life where I'm definitely on a positive. I'm definitely investing in myself. I'm ready to commit to a lot of things. And jiu-jitsu is one of the things that I want to kind of dig into a little bit more and take a little bit more serious and get into. And as we're getting ready for our move for the military, our projected move for the military, I definitely want to make sure that I do my due diligence to carry what I know now into the next place, but also take advantage of this place now as much as I can, because I have such a great training environment to train in. And I've traveled the country and I've trained with a lot of people, and most places are phenomenal to get to train at, but it's not always that way. There have been places I've gone to where I did not feel welcome. I did not feel safe. I did not feel that it was the greatest environment to be in. And that's a super rare thing to see in jiu-jitsu, but I have seen it before, and I think that that's worth talking about. And so I want to take advantage of the time that I have here because I love the people of this facility. I love the environment. I love the training. Jiu-jitsu all the way through is just an incredible art. Which brings me to kind of one of my next points is that I need to be more proactive about no-gi. Now, my school does have a pretty good no-gi schedule, but it's not the easiest with my personal work schedule, and that's something that I've got to work out. But I definitely would like to get more involved in no-gi and kind of bring that up to par, because I have the gi experience that I have, but I have virtually no no-gi experience, or very little no-gi experience, other than when I've traveled and trained no-gi and gotten to train with some of my friends in no-gi and everything. So I've definitely got to do my due diligence. Tonight there's a no-gi class at 7 p.m. that I could go to, and I probably need to go check that out and rely into that a little bit. But anyway, that's just me kind of ranting and everything. But I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that training's going really good for you guys. I hope that you guys are having a lot of fun with it and enjoying it. And if it's kicking your butt, keep going. If you're doing really well, keep going. Jiu-jitsu is just about showing up. The mats do not lie. They will always make you tell yourself the truth. They will tell you the truth. They will tell everyone around you the truth. So keep showing up, keep training hard, and if all else fails, don't forget to tap. Bye, guys.